Annual Minnesota Masters. In the championship game, we have John Cryer standing next to me, is going to be taking on Chris Stevens, and John has to beat Chris twice to go ahead and take the Minnesota Masters title. And so, John, what bowling ball are you going to be using? What's your plan of attack on this match?
Well, I got a couple that I've been using all day. The first one I've been using is the DV8 Misfit Pearl. Drilling, pin above the fingers, pretty much kind of a neutral drilling with, again, pin above the fingers to give me some length. I've been using it most of the day. As the day's been going on now, I've been forced inside. Yes, left-hander been forced inside. I'm going to go with something a little stronger probably, which is going to be...
I did notice on the last match where you just beat Chad Nelson, you changed balls on the left lane. You're using this ball for your on the left lane. So
yeah. Now I'm crossing a little bit more boards. I'm running into some of the right-hand traffic, so I need something that's going to be a little stronger. Pretty much same drilling. Bit above the fingers, give me a little bit more length on the back end so I can shape the pocket a little bit better and knock 10 pins down one shot.
All right. Well, good luck, John.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay, we're going to bring up Chris Stevens, our tournament leader. Chris is one of the newcomers to the CBA and the Masters. Relatively unknown, but a very good bowler. And I bowled with Chris all day today in the qualifying. So, Chris, what are you going to be using today?
Well, I used the High Road Pearl most of the day today, but I think I might pull out the Tropical Breeze and bump right a little bit. So,
okay.
And if that doesn't work, we'll go back to the High Road Pearl.
And John has to beat you twice.
Right.
So it's in your favor. So good luck and bowl well.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Good luck. All right. Chris will be throwing the first shot on the left lane. Ah, very nice. This, I believe, would be Chris's first attempt at any kind of title in as far as the scratch bowling organization stuff up here in Minnesota, and he didn't show any kind of nerves at all.
Pretty calm in your interview too.
He was. He's pretty confident because he bowled pretty well all day, and then he beat John in the winner to move on to the winner's bracket. He put John down into the loser's bracket after 4 games of match play, so he's undefeated. Yeah, just a half 7.
Don't start that again.
He might throw a different ball. He didn't like the way that ball hit. We'll try to keep it under control, John.
Think we have to talk quieter?
I'm not sure. Should be an easy spare for John because he leaves a lot of them. Sometimes he has a messenger coming across, which Tom Havlis says he likes that when pins go flying across and knocks out that dead 7.
Well, I never see that happen when I'm throwing the ball.
Well, Hav doesn't see it because it's usually a wheelchair going over there trying to knock over that pin.
Yeah. Another day. Oh, now he's moving the mic so I can say stuff. Hope we're not bothering the bowlers.
I don't think we're bothering the bowlers at all.
Chris is going to have a tough go at this, though. He's bowling one of the best in the state.
Yes.
And it's left-handed. Shot hasn't changed too much for him.
Yeah, that ball hits a little bit harder. That's why he used it on his last game against Chad Nelson. He used it only on the left lane. And from the looks of it, I got a feeling he might use that ball in the right lane when he gets back up in the 3rd frame. We had 68 bowlers today for the 34th annual Minnesota Masters here at AMF Earl Brown Lanes.
Just turn it. No, you.
Chris is throwing a Tropical Breeze. Oh, that was a bad break. Pretty good shot. He should just be going after 1 just to try to get the count.
I missed that. He did leave a 4-9. Now, after all these games that have rolled on these conditions, that Tropical Breeze is one of the weaker balls Storm makes. Did he say he was going to start with that ball and maybe go to another one if it wasn't working?
No, he was starting with his High Road Pearl, but he was going to use his Tropical Breeze to see how it started here. And that was kind of a mistake, I think. He should have just got the one pin because he lost 2 pins in count right there. But he threw the ball well. He shouldn't. The shot was not too easy today. He had to be in a little bit, quite a bit towards the end of the day. Pretty much outside of 5 was out of bounds on both sides. After the 68 bowlers, we bowled 8 games of qualifying, cut to the top 16. I believe it took 104 over to make the cut, 91 over to cash the top 20. Yeah, very nice, Chris.
We're at the AMF Earl Brown Lanes. I don't know if we still call them AMF Earl Brown Lanes, or is it now Bowmore Earl Brown Lanes?
I think we call it AMF Earl Brown Lanes. Longtime lane man Scott Sodi Sodegren still works here. And
Soapy.
he set this shot up today for us. It was very fair and very playable on both sides. It was really good. Now the first frame he used the other one, whichever it is, a all yellow one, left a half 7.
One I need sunglasses for.
Then he used one little stronger ball. I thought he was going to do that and hooked a little bit more. Easy spare.
I got an interesting story about Cryer Jr. I used to work with his mother at the real estate office. She told me about her son, who was a very good bowler from out east. I said, wow, is he coming to town? Yeah, he's coming to town. I had no idea how good he was. He showed up, talked a little bit. I decided to sponsor him in 3 or 4 CBAs. He never cashed. So I quit sponsoring him, and now he's on fire.
That's right, the unlucky have. But that's only in bowling.
Oh,
Well, no, probably good in bowling too. We ever heard of the avalanche?
that's for sure.
Ooh, and then Cryer is trying to get the avalanche. But when you go right through the nose, usually a strike.
2 in a row. Is that the same shot he threw last time?
Yes, same shot on the right lane. He went high. This, I think, is the toughest spare of any out there. Not only do you have to pick up 247, you got that 8 pin sitting in the back there that you can easily slide by it.
This is what the pros call the toughest spare.
I know, I just said that.
Did you?
It's the
I
toughest
can't
spare.
hear you. I'm not by the mic.
He made it look too easy.
If you want me to hear something, Tom, you got to talk to me, not the mic.
I see this microphone's got 3 sides to it. It's got Remax Realty, mnbowling.com, and it's got the locker guy on the one side.
Can't see the locker guy.
Well, I'll show you. Hold on, right here. There's the locker guy. Very nice, Chris. He's had that this one a little high in that second frame for the 4-9. Otherwise, he's been in the pocket all 4 frames. And
Take a look at the scores.
John Cryer has 56 in the third with a spare in the fourth, and Chris Stevens with a strike, and then had that 4-9 in the second. So he got 26 in the second with strike in the third and fourth. So right now, Chris has the better shot to the pocket, and he looks pretty confident, Nav.
I thought coming in we were going to see 2 matches. I thought we were moved down to 9 and 10 for the second match, but
No, well, we still might. It's only the 4th frame. Very nice, Chris. John's taking his time, wants to make sure he's got this figured out correctly because he's been high twice. I'm sure he moved in a little bit deeper. Like he said, even left-handers have to move in sometimes.
Good move.
Not only do you, when you make a move and you move in on the lane, you do have to throw it pretty good, and he did that time.
I don't really remember seeing this guy throw a bad shot. You know that.
The last two frames were pretty bad, Half.
But it's in the wrong spot. He threw him good.
Oh, I got you. He threw him good, wrong spot. Okay, this is a tougher lane, I think, because I think this lane hooks a little bit more for him. So we'll see if he moves in a little bit more. But you still can't throw it outside of about 7 or 8 because there's a hang spot out there. And he was guarding against throwing it too far left. And it was hooked up a little early, right to the face for the 4-6-10. He's definitely going to go for the 2 only, but he's pretty much behind in the match now. He's got a lot of work to do to come back, and if Chris just gets up and throws 2 good shots in the 6th and 7th like he did the first 5 frames, he's going to be off and running to win the game. All right, that gives John 104 through 6 after that open frame. 20-pin lead for Chris right now. He can make it 30 after this strike. He kind of short-armed that one, and he was just a little afraid to let it out too far. Leaves the 3-6-9-10, which we just talked about being one of the toughest spares out there, and John picked his up. How's it look, Half? Oh, see, that's what can happen so easily on that spare. So with that 6-3 in the 6th frame, now we have a 6-pin match. 110 for Chris in the 6th, the 104 for John. I still think Chris has a better shot at winning this. He is more lined up, but he is a little nervous, I think, being in this championship match for the first time against one of the better bowlers.
And one of the better bowlers hasn't figured out the right lane yet.
Or the left.
I think he figured out the left.
Now there's the old half 10. Medic, as we call it.
Waiting for a doctor.
Easy spare. Chris doesn't even use a plastic ball for his 10 pins, just flattens out his, basically his strike ball that he's using.
Okay. I say Cryer Jr. is lined up on the right lane. I think I'll take a beer. I'll wager a beer on the strike right here.
All right, you're on. I bet you leave something. I'll have a Summit have.
How spendy are they?
5 1/4 for you.
Oh,
Because I want a tall one. What are you drinking?
I'm just drinking a Bud Light.
Wow, you're a lightweight. All right, Summit to the table, lane 16.
That sucks.
No, it doesn't. Should be an easy spare for John. He'll pick this up, but he's having trouble on the left lane. sometimes when you're the tournament leader and you have to be beat twice, you sometimes have a little letdown. You don't seem to try as hard because you always have that extra game in there to, oh, okay, if he beats me, I still have another chance to move on. But if John doesn't strike here, Chris needs to just put the pressure on him and just go up there and throw 2 good shots and strike in the 8th and 9th and try to put this match away now instead of giving John another chance.
Big shot on the lane.
He's not lined up on that lane, you're right. It looked pretty good from here. We're off to the side, but probably came in a little late to leave a 7-pin. Easy spare. Don't see him miss too many of those.
I don't have my glasses on, Corby, but it looks like it's about a 7-pin match. Is that about right? Am I off? No, 13.
Chris has, John has 123 in the 7th with spare up in the 8th, and Chris has 110 in the 6th, spare in the 7th. Could be a 7-pin match if Chris strikes right here, which I think he's going to throw the ball pretty good. I think he's relaxed a little now. Very nice shot, Chris. And if he gets a strike here in the 9th frame, puts a lot of pressure on John to come through. And Chris is maybe smelling victory here. He left a 10-pin on this lane last time, but I don't think he was solid at the line when he left it. He was probably a little shaken after he had an open in the frame before that. It looks like he sent that one down the lane pretty quick. Not the easiest spare either. The 2-5-8. He could slide by this and miss the 8-pin, or he could chop the 2-8 off the 5. Lots of ways to miss it.
And we could get a flood.
And we could have a flood. And it could be 5 below out. Oh, well, it is. It was 44 degrees yesterday, and it's 5 below today. Nice spare.
Good spare, good spare. This game still is wide open. Whoever can string a couple here is going to win this match.
Well, John's up on the right lane in the 9th frame. If he strikes out, he can have 203, and he can shut out Chris, who can only have 200. But if John does not strike on these next 3 shots, Chris can get up in the 10th frame to win the game. Exciting match coming down to the 9th and 10th frame for the championship of the 34th annual Minnesota Masters.
At Roe Brown Lanes.
At AMF Roe Brown Lanes.
Oh, he liked it.
Oh, he wheeled that one too. Gave himself a lot more room. Yelled a little bit out there to make sure that the pins hurt him so they fell down. Must have worked. I don't ever do that, but do you do that, Half?
No, I usually call it my throat.
Your throat. Throw it and hope. Yeah, I know. I bowl with you enough. You're always hoping. Hope somebody doesn't stick you. He's getting excited here right now.
Well, he needed him. He did it.
Well, he needs this one and 8 to shut him out. But he threw 2 really good shots. Let the ball go off his hand better with a little bit more side rotation, got it out further. We might be watching another match, Half.
I'm thinking about that. I'll have to find my beer.
No, you have to find mine that you owe me for that bet we had.
Borrow me 50.
Lumpy, that was for you. Oh, now he needs 7. He's 8 to have 201 to shut out Chris. 7 for 200.
Corby, you might have to call the camera crew to help us load this equipment down to the lanes 9 and
We have to move from lane 15 and 60 down to 9 and 10, so we're going to need some help. Somebody's got to carry the beer down there that Have owes me, and then somebody will carry the microphone and the camera.
He's going to carry me.
There's a wheelchair over by here. Well, Sodi, where are you? Sodi, need a wheelchair. Bold, no matter, even though he did lose the game. But the good thing for Chris is he's got another shot at him. And hopefully he learned a little bit in this game. He threw the ball pretty well. Made 1 mistake in the 6th frame.
Well, you got to give Cryer Jr. a lot of credit. He was behind most of the match. He came on like the bowler he is and finished it off.
Yes.
He's got to do it again, though.
Absolutely. He came
Yeah,
through
just
when he
finishing
needed
up
the game. Chris got the first one in the 10th. Looks like he's using his high road here. He's going to try this one because we go to the next pair. There really aren't any shadow balls. So, and he did say he used a high road most of the day today, and he changed to that tropical breeze for this game. And if it didn't work, he was going to go back to the high road. So it gives him an opportunity to throw a couple extra shots with that ball, and we'll see what happens when we go down to lane 9 and 10.
It's not a count of pins. It's winning the match, correct?
Correct. It's not a 2-game total pins match. It's just whoever wins the next match. So 199 to 203. We'll be back in a second on lanes 9, starting the 2nd game. Now this is the championship match. And John Cryer against Chris Stevens. John won the first game by 4, which doesn't really mean anything right now. Whoever wins is the Minnesota Masters champion. Oh yeah, John sounds a little confident, lined up right now. He's gonna
come over and say hi.
John Cryer is gonna come over here and say hi to us and have a few words.
Yeah, why not?
How you doing, John?
I'm doing great. Got one more game here.
You came through last game for that 4-bagger. You had to have the 9th, 10th, and 11th to shut out Chris, and you threw him really well. Put a little pressure on Chris now, and with your experience, I think you're pretty lined up.
Well, the big thing was I wanted to get on the other side of the pole from lane 12 down because I've had such a great look the closer that I've gotten towards the wall. And 15 and 16 was not a pair that I wanted to get to, and actually I made a really big jump there and tried to move in as quick as I could, and finally found the pocket and peered him off my hand and got a good result.
Yes, what I thought happened in the 8th and 9th frame there, I thought you circled the ball a little bit more to get the ball to finish a little harder because you left I think you left a 6-pin and a 7-pin. Because I won a beer off a Have on that 6-pin you left because we had a bet.
I thought that was a good shot.
It was a good shot, but he said you were going to strike, and I said you weren't, and I won a beer. So thanks, John.
Right. That's why kind of towards the end of that last match, you see me kind of looking like I was trying to pry the ball off my hand a little bit more. And yes, Tom, you were correct. I did circle it a little bit too much, so I had to make sure I got up the back of it and control the change of direction on the back ends.
Okay.
But
well, good luck in this game right here.
thank you much, sir.
And somebody's going to be, one of you two, either you or Chris, are going to be the champion of the 34th annual Minnesota Masters. Good luck.
Well, we're both going to bowl good. See what happens.
Bud Light.
Looks like I'm getting somebody else to cover my beer.
Somebody else is buying you beer for me, have. Okay, Chris won high on the first frame. And John mentioned that he wanted to be left of the pole here at Earl Brown, which is lanes 12, left of lane 12. And I think it hooks a little bit more for the right-handers. And Chris's first shot, whether he didn't throw it very well, I don't know. But it did go high. And that one went a little light, so he made an adjustment. We'll see what happens when he gets back up on lane 10. Like I said, John looks pretty confident right now.
I heard him say something about he liked the side of the pole. You said that?
I said that.
Again, I can't hear you.
Well, pay attention. Well, he's looking very confident. He likes this end of the pole. We're going to bring down a guest commentator, Sam Lanto, who's going to come down to see us, who ended up fourth today. I believe he lost to Chad Nelson in the semi-final match. And Sam won the Minneapolis Masters a couple months ago. That was at Lakeville, Brunswick Zone. So, Sam, what do you think?
Both match up pretty good to the condition. So it's who can ever execute the best. They both have got equipment in their hands that are reading the lanes very, very well. So it's a matter of execution. Right now, John is in his zone, and history says that when he gets in his zone, it's very, very tough because he can execute and repeat shots.
Yes, and he, like you said, he's very confident right now, too. So what Chris needs to do right here, though, is go up and go strike to put some pressure back on John.
Chris is in a very comfortable zone for himself. He likes to play that inside line, and he bowled against him in many, many years at Textonka. He does very well there. When the shot moves in, he excels. So I look for him to rebound here and put some, answer back on John. That's a good shot. Oh, see, that's the deadly.
Kind of the
10
half 10, the half 10 as we call it, because Tom Havlis is doing the taping.
The half 10. Well, see, the problem is the 6 almost got the 10, where if Tab would have thrown it, the 6 would have just died in the 10.
But if Sam would have thrown it,
I would have got a Brooklyn.
Sam would have thrown left to half 10, but the ball finishes so close to the 10 that the pin hits the 10 and comes out and knocks over the 10.
I saw a avalanche out there.
Oh, he had that was called a Havalanto.
I have no pride. As long as it's an X up on the mark on the scoreboard, I'm happy.
The only thing I see about Chris is he's in his comfort zone right here, playing in and letting the ball hook a little, but he's a little inexperienced in a championship match here. So
That's exactly correct. There's no substitute for being there a few times to know how to handle the situation and be able to correct yourself, get yourself calm, and make good shots.
not only is this for the championship of the Minnesota Masters, the winner gets a free entry into the USBC Masters, which I believe is in February of 2014.
Yes, it is, out in Carolier Lanes in New Jersey.
New Jersey, yes.
New Jersey City. Been there. It's a very large center. It's a good place for the tournament. Very nice.
Oh, nice trip four. I like those. Tripping fours and hopefully winning matches.
The challenge here is if John gets caught one inside because he's playing it deep inside for the lefty, which brings them into our laydown spot for the righties.
Yes, he said that as we were talking before the first match started. He had to get in more where the righties were playing. He's in, and like he said, even a left-hander has to move in once in a while.
He has to keep his projection right to left. If he gets lazy and misses in, it's going to run up on the nose on him. So this is, he's in his zone right now and projecting really well. Wow. Right
They must have found some oil in the middle of the lane there, Sam.
Chad Nelson was just telling me lane 10 had more on the back end and did not finish strong for the righty, so that makes sense that that ball helped. Down here on the low end of the house compared to the high end of the house, the low end had tighter back ends and actually tighter heads, so we ended up playing further right than other parts of the house. There is a little bit more forgiveness. This lines up well for John.
And that's what he said. He wanted to be on the left of the pole, which the pole is on lane from 12 down, and he was just hoping to sneak through on first match.
Well, timing's everything in this game. Who you bowl,
And
when
we
you
have to
bowl, and
thank
where you
Jason
bowl.
Hansen for bringing down beer to us so we can do this commentating.
Oh, solid 10.
Wanted to make sure the vocal cords were lubed correctly. So
Wait a minute. Where's my Crown Royal neat?
look at
Jason Hansen, tournament director and beer runner.
Beer maid.
guy saying about pole dancing?
Scott Pohl was here,
Scott
and
Pohl
he
was
wasn't doing any dancing.
Now my toe is starting to get hurt. You know?
All right, should be an easy spare for John.
He's been very solid. One
he
thing
ta-
about John, for a power player, left-hander, he's very, very good on his spare shot.
He takes his time and just throws right at the pin.
Speed and direction. That's all he worries about.
He never gets out of focus. He's always focused on every shot, no matter where it is.
I have a lot of respect for him.
I do
a
too.
player that is emotional when he plays. He seems to always gather himself and make good shots when he needs to.
Yes, he does. He's won 18 CBA titles and has won this
He's
Minnesota
on.
Masters a couple times, so he has proven himself.
Yep. Chris needs this one here. He's got to be able to answer back and put some sort of pressure on.
Oh, very nice shot.
And see, in the inexperience, he's not letting the ball roll and flop over. He's projecting it hard, and the ball's not turning over early enough, so it's recovering on the backhand instead of rolling flat to the pocket.
Well, that's more than I would have thought. I just thought that he got tapped.
No. Angle of the ball.
Looking at the scoreboard right now, John Cryer 109 in the fourth with a spare in the fifth, and if Chris
Looking at
picks
Dutch.
this up, he's got 80 in the fourth with a spare in the fifth. Be down 29 pins in the fifth frame is a lot to make up.
That last one, he was a little in, a little speedy. Had enough hand to get it to recover, but the break point was late, so it came in behind the head pin and chopped the 3 off the 6 for a solid 10.
Thanks for the beer, Half. Although,
I think I got out of buying that.
I'm in celebration mode already.
no, Sam finally got his Crown Royal.
There you go. There. Oh, don't go away.
This is Chris's easy lane. He should strike on this one.
Well, the left lane's because the right-handers can get in deeper on this. They tend to hook more. The right lane's on the house. Everybody couldn't get in as deep, so you had to play a little further right. Yeah, he's a little bit.
I think
in jail
he's
right
fighting
now.
it right now.
He's not comfortable, and experience is making him make not good shots. He's not taking his time and.
I crossed with Chris all day today in the 8 games of qualifying, and I think he ended up about 130 over, qualified about 8th or 9th place, somewhere around in there. Bowled really well.
He's a good player. I've been waiting for him to start bowling more tournaments. I asked him if he would. He's got a good game.
Oh, look at that. Jason Hansen brings Sam down another Crown Royal, so he's in good shape now. He's got 2 of them sitting here. Tom's taking a picture of the crowd here at AMF Roe Brown Lanes. There's 14 people watching.
1,400.
1,400 people watching, sorry.
Wow. Is that a 1 share on the Nielsen ratings?
We're the only share on the have ratings.
Oh, he switched balls. You notice that?
No, he's been using that one, Sam. He was
No. Oh, on the last game he was.
the
using
last
that.
game he was going back and forth. When
So-
the match against Chad Nelson in the semifinal match, he was going back and forth. Look at her. Tom has to turn. Look at the locker guy on the
You gotta get a new
Gotta get their-
advertisement.
Remax results on the microphone. Tom Alish, who owns mnbowling.com website and also is a realtor for the Bowlers Realtor for Remax Results.
There you go, Tom. And you got that company called Locker Up?
The company's called The Locker Guy.
Hey,
The Locker Guy, changing the world one locker at a time.
EMC, your virtualization and data company.
Okay, this match is getting
a little out of hand.
little out of hand. John's just
Yeah,
cruising right now.
If Chris doesn't put up a double here, it's about over.
129 in the fifth with a double for John and 98 in the fifth with a spare in the sixth for Chris. He definitely has to have strikes in these next 2 frames, but any kind of pressure back on John.
Chris is a contemporary inside game. He likes to be able to project the ball left or right. Oh, he pulled that one. He's fighting it. He's not smooth right now. He's not loose because he knows the pressure's on.
Right. Trying to make something happen without letting the ball just go.
That takes years of experience. We all get locked up trying to make things happen instead of letting things happen. That's the difference between the guys that are comfortable in this position and those who are trying to get there. John's making great shots right now, just letting it happen, and Chris is trying to make it happen.
It's a good learning experience for Chris. Hopefully he comes out and bowls more tournaments, like you said, and he will do well if he just keeps on bowling everything.
Yes, that's you can't substitute experience. You have to do it to get it.
Chris bowled in the MJBT, which is the Minnesota Junior Bowlers Tour, a tournament for junior bowlers. And we have a CBA MJBT Baker Doubles every year. And I was able to cross with Chris one time in the CBA Baker Doubles. And we cashed, but only because he outhooked me about 24 boards to 2.
That's not uncommon in today's day and age. In my day, I hooked the ball. I'm not even in the same category as these guys.
No, Sam, everybody says now you throw the ball straight. What does that tell you about me? I throw it straighter. Come on, it's easy,
Straighter's
Sam.
gooder. The game's changed.
And then there's Half. He's even older than both of us.
He throws backups. The game's changed. The kids now have.
Be your dad, Sam.
The game, yes, could be.
Yes, he could.
The game has changed to favor people who can get great leverage on the ball. There is still a opportunity for those who execute and make great shots to succeed.
Especially in the team event tournaments.
Singles versus team are two totally different tournaments. Reactions.
Oh, look at there. He tried for a avalanche.
Yes. Yeah, that one got penalized for going inside.
I think he lost about it a little earlier. And I think he lost a little focus thinking that he had this match wrapped up. But you never know.
That happens.
So if he gets 2 here, he's got 184 in the 8th.
Boy, you're good math, even though you're impaired.
I'm only slightly impaired. I'm only drinking Summit.
Unfortunately, we all get captured into looking ahead a little bit. It's a natural human reaction. You're doing well, you're ahead, and then you just get lazy.
Right, so he's got 184 in the 8th.
He's up by 17 if Chris gets double.
A 224 pace, and Chris can strike out for 227, so it's not over yet, which is why they bowl 10 frames.
That's right. Ye who can make, if you 10 frames, you make 80% good shots, and you stay clean in the other good ones, the other ones, you're in the game.
I look for John to make a really good shot here. That was just a non-focused shot. He just kind of went up there.
Lazy.
Yes, exactly.
I agree.
He's not going to let himself be shut out by not striking here.
That's a good one. Yeah, he made a good one. Good call.
Now, if Chris can somehow gather up enough to strike in the 9th, 10th, and 11th, to put a lot of pressure back on John, we'll see what happens.
It's the only chance he has. Because John, during this tournament, has had off carry because he's playing in, and the ball doesn't have the angle that he would normally have. He leaves off carry, half tens, rip corner pins. So if he's going to put any pressure on John right now, this is the place he has to do it. That's pretty close. Very nice.
Very nice shot. Yes.
Very nice shot. And he's rising to the occasion. That's a good sign for a person that's going to try to elevate his game to be more competitive in other tournaments.
This strike right here forces John to spare. If he gets the second one in the 10th, he forces him to get John to double.
This is a crucial shot.
Very
Without
crucial.
It, he doesn't have. This one, if he gets this one, it makes John have a fill in the 10th. Without it, the tournament's basically over. Look good. Oh.
Looks like he just scooted it through the heads a little bit,
He
trying to
followed it, didn't
make
get
sure
in
it
on
didn't set it down short.
So this is, he's at 2:03 pace. So John just
It's
needs
over.
a good count. Yep, it's over. Unless he makes a crucial mistake. He'd have to get 3.
John would have to, he would have to throw like gutter,
Mm-hmm.
or throw a Havlish and then a gutter. Oh, what's
don't
a Havlish?
open this right here. All right, stay clean. Be proud of yourself.
Oh, he should be proud of himself. Anyway, anytime you can be
Undefeated.
undefeated and runner-up in the Minnesota Masters.
And you got some very good, talented players in this squad in this event.
Very talented. I don't have the sheet in front of me, but so it's going to be John Cryer first, Chris Stevens second, Chad Nelson is going to be third, Sam Lantos sitting right here is fourth, the fifth and sixth.
Those are
I
good
believe
names.
was Tom Korth and Sam Sylvester, and then it was Mike Skinner. I think I'm missing somebody in there.
This is a good event, good experience for Chris. If he chooses to bowl more, this is something
Which
he
he
can build
should
off
bowl
and look.
more.
Nice bowling, Chris. You
No,
need
John just got to finish out the 10th frame. Hopefully he does it in a victory lap, but quick. So we had Sam Lanto here, a guest commentating in the championship match.
State's ever seen, I might add.
Yes. Sam's in lots of halls of fame.
Yeah, well,
Minneapolis,
you're
St.
very
Paul,
kind. You're very kind.
Minnesota.
I'm not in
Oh, he's
St.
not
Paul.
in the St. Paul.
I'm a west of the river kind of guy.
So he's in Minneapolis, Minnesota State, and the CBA Hall of Fame. And of those, the CBA Hall of Fame is the only one that just goes by your ability only, not just a
Point
vote.
system.
Points, it goes by points, more than a point system. So we're going to be back in a little bit here. John finishes out the 10th frame, presenting the award plaques, and we're going to have Jason Hansen come down with us, who is the tournament director. And so we're at AMF Roe Brown Lanes. We just finished the 34th annual Minnesota Masters Tournament. We're here to present the awards to the champion and runner-up, and I have with me Jason Hansen, who is the tournament director, and he's got the first we got the runner-up plaque, and we're going to present that to Chris Stevens. And first of all, though, I want to talk to Jason. We had a very good turnout today. You did a really good job of running the tournament. Is there anything you'd like to add to this?
I just would like to say I'm really happy with 68 entries. That was fantastic. Everything ran smooth. Thanks to the center for having us here and hosting us today. Thanks to everybody that showed up and bowled. Again, 68 entries is fantastic. And congratulations, John Cryer Jr. champion, Chris Stevens runner-up. You know, the host of the top 16 was a whole lot of who's who in the bowling in Minnesota. Always fun to see and a great tournament to run.
All right. Thanks, Jason. You did a very good job. And right now we're going to bring up Chris Stevens to present him his runner-up plaque. Chris, you bowled very well today. I bowled with you in qualifying, like I mentioned, and John had to beat you twice, and you lost to one of the best bowlers that this state has, so you performed very well. I'm not sure what you can add to that, but I hope to see you out bowling some more.
Yeah, I will definitely come out and give it a run. You know, today was a great experience. Wish I could have taken it down, but you know, second place is not too bad.
Second place is very good. It's I think it's right next to first,
Right.
so that's pretty good. So whatever. Jason has a plaque for you.
Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you.
Great bowling
Thank
today
you.
all day long. You did great.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
I do know-
Good tournament.
I do know
Thanks.
that John happened to win the CBA Masters
Right.
qualifier a couple weeks back, not taking the spot. So just for those watching to be aware, Chris does have that opportunity for the $450 entry, paid entry into the Masters. Also the $250 that the Minnesota State USBC
Oh, yes.
graciously donated to us for travel expenses.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Good luck
definitely.
in the Masters.
Hey, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
guys.
Great
Great
bowling
tournament.
All right. Well, now we're going to bring up John Cryer, if we can get him down from up in the back over there, because we have to present him with his championship plaque. And if I'm not mistaken, John has won this tournament before, twice, as he just told me here. So we're not coming here anymore because,
both times here.
yeah, we don't like that and whatever. So, but anyway, come on up, John. I was just talking to John a little bit before we went back on air here that in the first game against Chris, and he was pretty much down and out in about the 6th frame, and then he came through with a 4-bagger. But even before that, when he was bowling Chad Nelson in the semifinal match, he had a spare open, and he changed balls on the 1 lane. Came through. He was down and out twice and came back and persevered. John, you're an amazing bowler. What can you say about this?
I threw the ball really well. For everybody out there, practice pays off. And
Exactly.
Knowing your ball selection is huge. Knowing your equipment is huge. And it came into play big time today because jumping pair to pair, you really had to be ready. You had to be on top of your game. And a couple of ball changes there really helped me out and lined up fast and was able to kind of.
And I'm not sure who all noticed that, but I noticed it sitting back right here watching you. So, and I'm sure other people did too, whatever, but that was a very amazing performance. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So, now Jason has not only has a plaque for
Thank
you,
you.
I believe it comes with $800 first place prize. And I know you said you can't go to the Masters. You got other stuff going on. Chris doesn't go to the Masters, but you've been there before and you've done well in the Masters. So you are from out in New Jersey. Why aren't you going?
I start school here in 3 weeks, so
Okay,
we're going to
well-
put some school before some bowling.
All right,
so.
well, good for you. That's something you should do. So,
Absolutely.
congratulations again on the
Thank you, Tom.
championship. I'd like to thank Jason Hansen for running the tournament, and thank Tom Havlish from MNBowling.com and Remax Results for
And
taping this,
the locker guy.
and the locker guy for doing this. So, thanks again. We'll lock her up as Half calls or whatever. So, all I know is I won a beer off a Half. Talk to you next time.